Yo, 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 yo. What's up, fight fans? It's your man 3K the Boss, aka Mr. Two Hands Up. Fah Fah. You already know what it is, man. Shout out to everybody. I hope everybody's doing good out here. Sorry, I couldn't make the live, man. I got some pretty motherfucking serious shit going on right now. So yeah, life happens. So, yeah, man, but we just gonna keep pushing how we push it, man. So I appreciate all of you guys who came through. Sorry I couldn't be there, unfortunately, but yeah, we're gonna do this thing right. We're gonna do this thing today. So shout out to Gerard, Boxing God, what it do? Chance Smoke was goody. George the angry old man. How's it going this morning? Titanium Rubber was goody. Bach Gotti Line the OG, salute. Miguel, salute was goody. LaRon was goody. Man, I hope everybody doing well, man. So seems like Anthony Josh was making his rounds out here, fellas. First stop was to go see Joshua Buatsi with his new trainer, Virgil Hunter. We all know Virgil Hunter is the famed trainer of, Andre SOG Ward. So, of course, it would only be natural that Anthony Joshua being in the States that it raises everybody's antennas and people starting to speculate what's going on. Well, after that trip, we end up finding out that there's images and there's pictures surfacing with Anthony Joshua being around Eddie Reynoso, the famed trainer of Canelo Alvarez. So, that raises the antennas a little bit more. He's doing workouts and things of that nature. And then third stop, recently the other day, we see him with Ronnie Shields, Mike Tyson's old trainer, the trainer of Jermall Charlo right now, the 160-pound WBC champion, doing workouts in the gym, taking pictures with the guys and things of that nature, hitting the mitts with Ronnie. So that would only tell me one thing. A very good source tells me that Anthony Joshua is basically leaving Rob McCracken and he's looking for a trainer. And the fact that he's looking for a trainer in America, it only confirms, like, yo, y'all remember the live I had right after the fight when I said is it time for Anthony Joshua to look for a new trainer? What was one of the first things that I emphasized that Anthony Joshua needed to do one day after the fight? I said Anthony Joshua needs to get away from Rob McCracken and implement himself in American culture because there's certain things that Rob McCracken can't give somebody that has that natural ability, that has that, those intangibles or whatever, because I feel as though Anthony Joshua's gotten there specifically off God-given talent alone. And with that being said, going over to America, being able to unlock, your arms a little bit, flow a little bit, unlock your legs a little bit. Stop being so stiff. Stop being so statuesque with your movements when it comes to the ring. I feel like these are things that come from American trainers. I mean, look at all of the Uzbek fighters. Look at all of the, look at all of the great fighters from all other regions of the world. And this is no disrespect to no region of the world, but understandably so. That free-flowing, stylistic, slick defensive movement, the sharp angles with the different shots and everything, the tricky footwork, all of those things, man, is one thing that America does well. And a lot of our coaches, they come from particular, as fighters, they come from a particular style system and dealing with guys that, operate well in those systems. Even Canelo Alvarez has it. After, the fight with Floyd Mayweather, he took from those things that he lost and he's made himself so much of a better, slicker defensive fighter. Now, I'm not saying that slicks or what Anthony Joshua specifically needs to win this fight, but I do feel like he needs to flow on a different level. I feel like he is too boxed in. And one thing we know about Alexander Usyk is he already has that flow. So just putting yourself there, that already tells me that he's already in the right mind state. He already knows what he needs to do. He knows where he's crippled at because it has to be done. And even if whatever happens in May or April or whenever the fight is supposed to take place, he still made the right moves because being with Rob McCracken, it's not going to come out. So let's see what comes out of this. Let's see what trainer he's going to eventually go with. It has to be done, man. It has to be done. And he did it within an ample amount of time because I said he would have to do it within 1 to 2 weeks from losing the fight so he could get right on it. and understand the things that he needs to be working on and understand what type of fighter he needs to be to win that fight, because I think his IQ is limited in that area when dealing with Alexander Usyk and the necessary frustrations he was going through. So getting in there as quick as you can, taking your interviews as serious as possible, feeling these trainers out is what Anthony Joshua is going to need to do if he's going to be that dog. You know, maybe, hopefully, because for me, I don't know about y'all, I wouldn't say that Virgil Hunter, Ronnie Shields, okay, but I wouldn't say Virgil Hunter and Eddie Reynoso was the way to go. Those are two names that I didn't even mention, you know, because for me, that's not what's going to do it for him. I feel like if he picks up Virgil Hunter or he picks up Eddie Reynoso, shit, I even feel like if he, I don't know, man. Ronnie Shields, I do like Ronnie Shields as a trainer to implement the certain things, but I don't know if he's going to win with them dudes, to be perfectly honest. What about y'all? Do y'all think that the three trainers that Anthony Joshua is going to see right now is where he needs to be? Or are you just content with the fact that Anthony Joshua is moving around in America and he's making these type of moves? It's yet to be seen. Salute Gerard. He said Joshua needs a trainer who's going to be strict with him. I've had a feeling for a while that he was running his own camp, doing what he likes kind of thing, which is not good at all. Facts. You know, I'm not, I guess, you know, if I'm of the belief that he's already gotten to where he's gotten based off of God-given talent alone, that I would have to agree with the fact that he's running his own camp. I just can't say that with concrete certainty, because that's not something that has been, you know, it's not something that seeped through the cracks. So, but I mean, I would have to be of that belief as well on some level, hypothetically. So I agree. I just think that, man, like, yo, loyalty is cool and all that, but skill set is so much better. Like having a better knowledge and understanding what's going on in the ring and what you need to do and how to operate once you're in trouble, or you know you consistently getting hit with a shot in certain angles, to where instead of being in a camp to where you can adjust, getting somewhere where you can adjust. That's the thing. I think that maybe Joshua might be just out here feeling dudes out, trying to feel out what do make more sense to, you know what I'm saying, his level of comfort if he is going to be in America or whatever. Because dude, you know, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's looking at it from a comfort aspect. But for me, if you're getting with trainers and they're making you feel comfortable and you feeling the love in the gym, I don't feel like those are the guys you should necessarily be with. I feel like you should be with a person who's more or less cracking the whip. And believe it or not, guys, I honestly think that one of the best trainers for Anthony Joshua right now that would have him mentally clicked on and physically clicked on as well, who understands so many different styles, who's dealt with so many different African-American fighters, white fighters, you name it. You know what I'm saying? Who really knows how to operate within and outside of the ring and to keep his fighter turned on and knows exactly what to do with years and years worth of experience. I truly feel as though Teddy Atlas is the guy. Come on, man. What y'all think? I think Teddy Atlas is the guy. From Michael Mora to goddamn Alexander Vajdic, you know, just mentioning those two names right there, there's a whole lot of stylistic difference. There's a whole lot of nuance. Dealing with Mike Tyson early in age, we know Mike Tyson with the slick shoulder movement, with the, you know what I'm saying, we know how he got down. So I'm just saying, Teddy Atlas already has a lot of things. Teddy Atlas was even Povetkin's, when Povetkin was in the heights of his career, who was there? Teddy Atlas. I'm just saying, Teddy Atlas is a dude who can consistently duplicate success when it comes to that boxing ring. And when it comes to the mentality, I feel as though Teddy Atlas brings a certain level of grit, and he brings a certain level of honesty, and he brings a certain level of uncomfort that is going to keep a fighter turned on and in the right headspace that he needs to be to operate. So I think, personally, for me, like I said, a John David Jackson, a Teddy Atlas, a Buddy McGirt, man, another one, Andre Rozier. Those are great trainers who possess a certain specific type of mindset. Even a Joel Diaz, Israel Madramov's trainer. Like, I feel as though they possess a certain level of mindset and a certain level of grit that could personally help Anthony Joshua, because we got to think, it can't be something that happens down the road. It has to be something that clicks immediately, you know, because he's got to fire off all cylinders immediately. He can't come in here, you know what I'm saying, gunshot. He's got to, you know, be able to duplicate success in the ring, and he's got to be able to duplicate success in his training in a very expedient rate. And I think those are the guys, if you're going to implement yourself in American culture. I mean, shit, go see, it might sound a little crazy, but shit, go see Mark Breland, go see Sugar Hill, go see the great trainers in Philadelphia, slide by Gleason's. I'm just saying, continue to make your rounds. Continue to make your rounds, because I'm telling you, everything that Anthony Joshua is going to be doing on this side of the street is going to be it's going to be a worlds of a distance in between of what he was doing over in the UK with Rob McCracken. But right decision, yes. First 3 trainers that he went and saw, I just don't know about it. Robert Garcia, good. That would be a good trainer for him. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who going to definitely have him shooting the jab a lot better, and he going to have him operating. I feel like Robert Garcia would immediately put him on the front foot. He going to have him operating big. He going to have him, you know what I'm saying, operating, touching the body a lot more. I think that the elements of Anthony Joshua's offense that he already has, I think he will completely dismantle that shit, break that shit down, and make it a completely different setup. For real. I think it will go from, you know what I'm saying, shooting out the little 1-2 to popping hella freaking body shots, hooking off at the body, throwing straights at the body, coming forward on the front foot, double, triple, quad up on the jab, and really position Anthony Joshua a better angle so he uses his size to his advantage. It's one thing I've noticed about all of Robert Garcia's fighters, they heavy on the front foot. Meticulous pressure, and you know what I'm saying? Like they definitely shoot for the body a lot. So Robert Garcia would be a good trainer as well. Honestly, I feel like Manny Robles, Robert Garcia, Ismail Salas. It's like I feel like those guys would probably, you know, be way better than what Eddie Reynoso bring to the table. I just feel like with Eddie Reynoso, I just feel like it's already too much controversy in that camp, man. Too much controversy in that camp. And I just don't know if that would be the smartest decision for him right now. I'm saying, honestly, it's not even about it being a trainer being overrated or underrated, because honestly, if you want to be perfectly honest, a lot of the so-called better trainers are underrated. And this is what I mean by that. Just because you get with a certain trainer who was already heralded as a good trainer or a great trainer, doesn't necessarily mean that whatever he implements, you're going to be able to operate well within that system. What I'm saying by that is, basically, the fighter makes the trainer in every situation. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these fighters just have a certain talent, a certain skill set, and a certain level to see certain things in the ring. All the trainer is doing is bringing a certain level of basics, a certain level of techniques, and he's tweaking things that you already have, or he's making things sharper that you already have. And you know what I mean? Think about how many trainers got duds in their gym. How many trainers got professional fighters who don't amount to anything in their gym? Because it's not necessarily based off of, okay, because if that was the case, everybody would be a good trainer. Facts or not, if that was the case. If it was just based off of that. See, but it's more than that. It's more or less the fighter that you have. Like, you got to have a special fighter to necessarily be a special trainer. And for me, that's just what it boils down to. I don't think that, you know, trainers necessarily make and break fighters. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, the ability to be able to identify with your strengths and weaknesses, because I feel like in anything that we do, you should be able to know your strengths and weaknesses. But at the end of the day, I feel like great fighters make great trainers. Some people might feel different or whatever, but I feel like if you don't have a top tier talent, how are you going to be a top tier trainer? I don't know how many, I don't know too many trainers that just took bums and just made these motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, polished gems. Do y'all? You're making my point well. It's just not the trainer, but the fighter's willingness to do as they're told and not what they want. Absolutely. You know, you have to see, for one, it takes more than just one thing. It takes a fighter that's willing to buy into the system. It takes a trainer's unwavering, you know what I'm saying, ability to, you know what I'm saying, bite down and, you know, be honest enough with the fighter to where the fighter is going to flourish and that a fighter is going to flourish within the system that he's trying to implement on him. Meaning that, you know what I'm saying, you can't have a weak mental fortitude. You got to be willing to come in the system, embrace everything, you know what I'm saying, bite your teeth, bite down, bear whatever he's saying, and just get involved. Because it's your level of dedication at the end of the day. Like I said, a great fighter with all the talent in the world, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at Adrian Broner right now. Adrian Broner, all the talent in the world, still probably hyper talented, has more fluent ability than any other fighter who walks the face of this earth right now. And he is just 100% wasted talent. And he could have taken any trainer that he's ever had and made them a world champion trainer, made them trainer of the year, or made that person look greater than what he is based off of the product that Adrian Broner really is. But what is Adrian Broner's biggest problem? Adrian Broner's biggest problem is his headspace, his mentality, his ability to stay turned off from whatever the sports has going on. He's too much of a child, and he operates well, and he operates well within, you know what I'm saying, all the realms of immaturity. So if Adrian Broner was to click on, he would make a couple trainers look great. So that's the thing, man. You gotta turn on. Exactly. Exactly my point. That's his biggest problem. And that's the thing, man. Like, and once again, man, you're only as great as the people, you're only as great as your willingness and the person and your willingness to listen to the person behind you. Because to be perfectly honest, I personally, I don't think I've always told y'all, I don't think Eddie Reynoso is a great trainer. I think Eddie Reynoso just has a special fighter. He ain't doing nothing with Canelo. Canelo doing a majority of that shit. That shit already came with the package, B. Like, for real. A lot of that shit came with the package, and a lot of that shit came with the willingness to turn up after the loss. Because when you fighting since you fucking 14, you be professional since you 14, 15, 16 years old, there's nothing to standing in your way other than the fact that you already know. If from 14 to 16, you already know you want to be pro, you already know you want to take the world on, I mean, shit, then there's already your ingredients and all of the right, you know what I'm saying, recipes to make for a fighter to be great. All he's got to do is just, he already mentally there because he's been mentally, you know what I'm saying, focused on doing so since a child. All I'm saying is everybody don't operate like that. I'm just saying, like, for me, Eddie Reynoso, what is Anthony Joshua going to benefit from Eddie Reynoso right now? I just can't figure it out. I'm really waiting to see. I just feel I've never known Eddie Reynoso to make a fighter much more proficient with his jab. I've never known Eddie Reynoso. I've just never known Eddie Reynoso to make a bigger fighter a better, bigger fighter. I've never known it. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, shout out to Frank Sanchez, though. But Frank Sanchez already come equipped with what he got. I'm just saying. I just don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe other people are more high on what he brings to the table than me, and maybe somebody can show me something different to where I can appreciate it a little bit more, but I just have never seen it, man. That's what I'm saying. And for real, he could go into the Crawford system with Bo Mac, Red, Bernie, and all of them boys with his whole 5-trainer system. Like, not saying that he needs to take on the 5-trainer system, but it's a lot of sauce. It's a lot of different sauce up in them Omaha gyms, man. It's a lot of different sauce, and them boys ain't gonna be soft on you. You want to know one thing that Anthony Joshua really needs to do, y'all, that he doesn't, that I don't think that he really, really maximizes whatever he needs to bring the most out of him is his sparring. I'm sorry, but if I'm hearing dudes like Joey DeWaco clipping you, knocking you on your ass, if I'm hearing dudes like Daniel Dubois, who only has literally one punch, is knocking you on your ass and they giving you work, man, come over here, get a hold of some Big Baby Anderson, bring Philip, because look, if I was this trainer, I'm going to tell y'all exactly what I'm going to do, and I ain't even going to play with y'all. Philip Hergovich, Joe Joyce, I'm bringing in Oscar Rivas. I'm bringing in he's had Andrew Tabiti in there before, but Andrew Tabiti a real slick, kind of a smaller big guy, but he's got a lot of fluid movement, and that's what Anthony Joshua needs to see, a whole lot of that turned on. But I'm bringing in dudes like that. I'm bringing in dudes like Jared Big Baby. I'm bringing in the biggest and the best that the heavyweight division has to offer. That's operating outside of, that's not operating outside in another camp that could honestly, it's like Fury or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because Fury like the only other person or that ain't operating in a Fury or Usyk camp. And honestly, I probably wouldn't even care if they were in that camp. But at the end of the day, I'm bringing in all of the toughest fighters that you possibly could get a hold of. Because one thing that, I mean, for all of the gentlemen who were born, you know what I'm saying, from, I would say, the 70s or below in the building, y'all would be able to meet, shit, even in the early 80s, if you was born in the early 80s, shit, you know what I'm saying, you still got an understanding of a certain, particular stud heavyweights. Like, yo, what is the one thing that made all of those individuals great, bro? The fact that them boys went into that gauntlet with the best opposition they fought consistently. They sparred with the best opposition that boxing had to offer. Sparring is no different than Michael Jordan getting in the gym and shooting 1,000 free throw shots. You know what I'm saying? And perfecting his foul shot, or perfecting that, that beautiful fadeaway he do when he lean back and just hit that joint on the Jazz in Game 7 from anywhere on the goddamn floor. Like Michael Jordan, like, you just have to just implement repetition. And I feel like repetition and sparring is what makes a fighter better. I don't feel like necessarily getting behind, having a coach behind you, just talking to you while you're punching at, say, a tennis ball, while you're hitting on a heavy bag, while you're hitting on a half of a body that's supposed to represent a torso, an upper, and a head. I don't think that necessarily makes you better. I feel like it's the heads and the feet that move and the hands that are consistently thrown back at you. I feel like that's how you learn to adapt. And I feel like if Anthony Joshua go in here with the toughest of dudes, then, it would give him the ability to adapt. AJ and he's JD's on Malik Scott. Hey, man, at least they're going to let him go out on a shield. Cheaty, salute. He said, you trying to get AJ's confidence destroyed. Not at all, man. I'm just trying to have Anthony Joshua understand this. All right, we'll look at it like this, y'all. If you've been on the UK side of the street the entirety of your career, how are you going to be able to grow? Like I even said this before. I said Lennox Lewis had to use the UK, went through the Canadian pipeline, came down through America, made his name, you know what I'm saying, dealing with the greatest coach to come out of one of the greatest, arguably the greatest coach to do it, and one of the greatest coaches to come out of Detroit, if not the greatest, and Emmanuel Stewart. So even Lennox Lewis knew with all of the intangibles, the ability, the size, and all of that things, he had to bring more to it. And one thing we know about Emmanuel Stewart, he ain't going to hold his tongue for nobody. For nobody. He going to tell you when you're losing. He going to tell you when you're whipping some ass. He going to tell you when you need to hurry up and get the kid out of there. He going to tell you when you need to stop bullshitting in the ring, get behind the fucking jab, and do what you're supposed to do. Kind of got to witness that same type of no bullshit attitude in his nephew in October. So, yeah, man. Yeah. Anthony Joshua, if you're only on the UK side of the street, how are you going to honestly say, bro, he brought in some dudes for Andy Ruiz that I never even heard of. And I felt like they weren't the toughest guys in the world. And I felt like Andy Ruiz free flows like an American fighter with that hand speed, with them, you know what I'm saying, with them speedy combinations and everything. I was like, yo, these dudes might not even be the dudes that's even going, he's going to be able to, duplicate any form of success with. But all I'm saying is if you're only seeing the UK side, it's time to come get beat up and sparring on the American side and get better, man. You got to get your ass whooped to get better, yo. I don't know one dude who was just off the top a great fighter without catching an ass whooping. All in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know anybody like that. Like, even myself, like, I ain't never know I was a good fighter. And I never knew how bad of a fighter I was until I got my ass whooped and became better. So, repetition and punishment, man. You got to embrace all of that shit. Embrace the blood that's on your lip. Embrace the blood that's cut over your eyebrow. Embrace the blood that's, embrace the bruises on your chest. Embrace the, the pain you feel in your abdomen. Because all of these things are going to make you better. And I'm just saying, got to get your ass whooped, man. Because, like, come on, yo. We know what he's dealing with. Are we going to act like we're naive to that? He's going to have to get beat up in sparring a little bit. If you've never lost a fight, you've never been in a real fight. That's what I'm saying, man. These are facts. I ain't never met a more dominant heavyweight than Lennox Lewis, and it's sad because I feel like a fuckboy, right, man? I feel like a fuckboy, right, man? Though, look, this is why I say I feel like a fuckboy when it comes to Lennox Lewis. Because of my love for Mike Tyson, I hated Lennox Lewis. I hated him the entirety of his career. Felt like he got on my man. I feel like he jumped on my man when my man was outside of his prime after coming out of jail. But the reality of the situation was that Mike Tyson needed that fight for tax reasons. And he ain't even really want to be in that fight. But I didn't really get to I appreciated Lennox Lewis as I got to watch all of his fights, but I didn't appreciate him. It was kind of like a level of disdain and hate there because I had so much of a love for Mike. You know what I'm saying? I was a young kid too. But it's like now, you know what I'm saying, I have such an appreciation for Lennox Lewis, what he brought to the game and how dominant he was compared to all the heavyweights around him, that it's just like, yo, you just got to appreciate a guy like that. And I feel like, the sauce that, made Lennox Lewis great is the exact same recipe that Anthony Joshua needs to become great. Because really, the fact that Anthony Joshua comes from the UK, he's got that amateur prowess, he's got that stiff jab, he's got that patience and that poise. Now add that shit with some free, to add that shit with a little bit more of American spice with the styles, with the free-flowing abilities, the flowing combinations, the tricky footwork, the in and out techniques, he would be dominant, bro, because Anthony Joshua was already cool with, using the lead hand for measuring with the lead hand, bro. So measure with that lean hand and put a real stiff jab behind it. Honestly, I feel like he might want to talk to Kovalev too. Kovalev got one of the illest jabs I've ever seen in boxing. Yeah, man. That's why, like, I couldn't really rock with Lou, man, because I was just like, man, Mike was my dude, man, and I felt like he got he got the short end of the stick with that jail sentence, man. I feel like we didn't get to really see Mike really flourish in all of his greatness. Like I would have loved to seen that Mike Tyson fight come off, when because he was supposed to meet Evander Holyfield right before he got locked up. Him and Evander Holyfield was supposed to fight. So, you know what I'm saying? I would have loved to see how that fight went. I don't know, because Evander Holyfield is a hell of a cheater too. And a hell of a drug cheat. Allegedly. I don't care what nobody say. When you getting, PDs and growth hormones delivered to your front door under the name of Evan Fields, like, bro, he's never the sharpest tool in the shed. So it's just like I don't have the level of appreciation that everybody else has for Evander Holyfield, even though he was a great fighter. I'm just never going to feel him. Bo, another great fighter. And that's the thing. Riddick Bowe would be great because he will fight big. And that's the thing Anthony Joshua needs to understand, man. Why do you get in these matches with these dudes where you try to feel like you're proving a point? Like that you can do this or do that. Like, yo, I've never understood that, bro. Like, you don't have to get in a fight with somebody to try to prove that you can box or be on some Errol Spence shit and try to make excuses that you didn't knock somebody out so you felt like you showing boxing finesse, as Anthony Joshua put it against Parker. Parker just got a long beard on him. Just saying, like, you don't have to like conform and try to show people that you can do this or that. Do you, dog? Do you? You're a big 6'6" guy. You can move around better than a lot of people. You're a lot faster than you. People will underestimate how really fast you are. So why don't you get behind people that are going to make sure that you operate in which you are, a big motherfucker, man? Like, you need to be a heavyweight. At the end of the day, Anthony Joshua needs to be a heavyweight. And what I experienced when I watched that fight, I didn't experience the actions of a heavyweight. Like, you trying to out jab the jabber, like, and then you wasn't out jabbing him. You was shooting the one. All of that's got to, like, yo, everything that he did in the first fight, he can't do it in the second fight. I don't know if y'all love that belief, but I just don't feel like he could do it. I feel like he would have to do something completely. He would have to, everything has to be different. The two Rockman fights and the Klitschko fight changed my mind on Lennox, especially how he came back from that KO and beat Rockman ass the way he did. Man, yo, he flatlined that dude early. Like, yo, I ain't never seen one man beat up so bad in my life. Did y'all see the hematoma on the side of this dude's forehead? Enough said. And the fact that he got knocked all the way out, enough said. Like this dude, he flatlined this dude, left this dude with his arms above his head, like he was on a crucifix, like waiting for a resurrection. Like God assured him that he will come back. So he just threw his arms behind his head, like, yo, I'm just gonna lay out here like this. You know, I'm gonna be resurrected eventually by a doctor with a couple of flashlights in my eyes and shit with some smelling salts. And everything about that fight showed that Lewis got dogged. Like the ESPN conference of both of them boys is up there. They end up getting a fight up there and everything. Like, Lewis wasn't no sucker. I just always thought he was a fruitcake, man. Like, no disrespect to him. I think I even said it like a week ago or whatever. I never knew him to be with a girl. Always thought that he was, you know what I'm saying, I thought he was a tough fruitcake for a while. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, and I'm probably not the only one to think that. Don't nobody give me shit for that, man. He ain't going anywhere near Lewis because all of the snide comments over the years. I blame Lewis for that nose put out joint regarding Joshua not signing in the early days. Hey, look, man. Anthony Joshua not wanting to sign with Lennox Lewis. I mean, come on, bro. Lennox Lewis ain't even the second biggest thing in the UK when it come to promotion or promotional value. So I mean, what did Lennox Lewis expect? Anthony Joshua wasn't gonna go with him. Miguel said, I still think Lewis is a fruitcake. Low key, man. Low key. Look, you can have a wife and all of that stuff. Man, come on, man. How many of y'all have seen it? These dudes, yeah, that got something to do with it too. But his come off real soft. Like, how many of y'all done seen dudes that's got families, wives, kids, all that, keep up with appearances or whatever, but late nights, you know what I'm saying, they creeping for some tailpipe, man. Come on, man. I'm not the only one. So it's not like far-fetched for me to be of this belief. I'm like, yo, you can have the most beautiful wife in the world. You can have kids and all of that stuff, man. But late night, you could just be out for some tailpipe, man. And I mean, a lot of these dudes be low-key like that. Like, bro, like, yo, I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. Man, my best friend in the world, dog. Like, one of my best friends in the world that I grew up with, Slim. This dude leaves off to the military. We graduate high school. This dude leaves off to the military. Now, when he comes back on leave, he got a black girlfriend. Mind you, this dude is white as all hell, which it ain't having a black girlfriend. I mean, a black wife don't mean, I mean, it's whatever. Man, be with whoever make you happy and all that good stuff. But what I'm saying is this dude comes back with a black wife, and I'm just like, yo, I've never seen this dude. It didn't dawn on me. I never seen this dude with a girl a day in my life. He had the black wife for appearances. Man, whole time this dude trying to be a transgender, taking female hormones and all types of stuff, man. I can't even sit next. God love all the love for him in the world, can't even sit next to him. So what I'm saying is, bro, you can have all of these things and be out on the late night for the tailpipe. I'm just saying. Or you could be taking the female hormones, or you could be trying to be on your RuPaul shit. I'm just saying. So ain't nobody exempt from the criticism. So my current girlfriend said her cousin used to mess with Lewis, and it was in his heyday too. So was her cousin a boy or a girl though? Was he a boy or a girl though? Was it a boy or a girl though? I'm just saying. Nah, man, Mark, we salute. Nah, we was just talking about, you know what I'm saying, Anthony Joshua, his training regimens, meeting up with different trainers, things of that nature. And Lennox Lewis came up how, you know, AJ wouldn't train with him with all the beef. Lennox tried to sign him earlier and everything. And we was just talking about how, you know what I'm saying, Lennox Lewis was always suspect, how we thought him to be a low-key fruitcake or whatever, like saying that, you know, you could have a wife and you can have kids and you can keep up with appearances and all of those things, but that don't necessarily mean that you're not creeping out late night for the tailpipe. That's all we saying. That's all we saying. You know what I mean? And so, and I was just speaking to the fact that I know for a fact that you know what I'm saying, I know dudes that have done the same thing. So, hey, man, you can have the baddest wife in the world, but you can still love a boy, Damon. One of my close friends from back in the day came to find out he was like Omar from the Wild. My God. Hey, that's the thing. What you gonna do with something like that? If he like Omar from the Wild, what you gonna do from something like that? You ain't gonna fight him. I'm sorry. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. I'm not fighting no gay dude. I put that on my life. I ain't fighting no gay dude because it's an L regardless. And if you don't think so, you go out there and get your ass whooped, and then you remember what I said. You remember what I said on Reaper Gang Radio. You go out there and get your ass whooped by one of them fembots, one of them fun boys. And then did you ask yourself if it was really worth it? And then you think about what I said on Reaper Gang Radio and why I said it was an L. And I bet you wish you would have stood down on my life. I bet you wish you would have stood down. Look, man, Oscar De La Hoya, we all know, man, a lot of this boxing fraternity stuff, when it comes to the upper echelons of your earning potential, a lot of that stuff comes on the back of those darker fraternities, if y'all know what I'm saying. I'm just not trying to say it, the exact terminology on here, because they will block me, shut me down, and all of that just for that wordplay. But we know a lot of these fraternities are they position, when it comes to those higher earners, they play that game, man. They write their names in blood. They do all of that extra stuff, man. So they got to do the fun boy stuff, man. Look, man, you're not in them tax brackets, man, without having to give up something, man. I'm just saying. You got $2 million fighters, but then you got $100 million, $200 million fighters. Floyd ain't exempt from it either, man. You might see Floyd running around with 9, 10 women and everything, looking all extra, you know what I'm saying? Living that life and all of that stuff. But I'm telling you, Floyd has done some pretty suspect things in his career that we could look back to say, like, yeah, y'all playing in them fraternities, bro. Kownacki versus Ajagba. Which bum do you got winning? Bro, that is the sloppiest, dustiest fight that Premier Boxing Champions could put together, man. Shout out to George with the super chat. That's one of the sloppiest, dustiest fights that you're gonna see. And I know how PBC moves, so that quite possibly could be a main event. Or like, oh my God, is that scheduled or is that just mere speculation? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that's just one of the sloppiest, worst fights that American boxing could put together. Like, you got Kownacki who who doesn't even have success in the high guard. We have Kownacki who's just too fat, lower body proportions are too weird where he can't even shift his shoulders. He just literally is like, you know what? I'm the crash test dummy. Here's a wall. This is a 150-mile-an-hour car. Let's just run into that shit. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like, here's the wall. Here's the car. And then you want to run straight into this shit. And Ajagba would be that car. But if it came down to wins and losses, let me not get away from too far away, rambling in jokes. I just got Ajagba. Well, yeah, I think Ajagba will win. He would Joe Joyce him to death. A very, very poor version of Joe Joyce, but I feel like he would Joe Joyce him to death. James Jamison, salute. He's like, nah, that fight ain't happening. PBC done took too many L's at the heavyweight, and Ajagba is with top rank. Absolutely, Ajagba is with top rank. That's why I said, is that something that is being spoken into fruition, or is this just mere just talking about a potential if they were to meet up? But if I had to put my money on the wood, I'm putting my money on Ajagba. I feel like, Frank Sanchez's success came from the fact that Frank Sanchez has a higher IQ, a high, better footwork, the ability to get in and outside and use better angles than Kownacki would ever would. Frank Sanchez was just the perfect recipe, came from the perfect fighting system, Cuban fighter. So we all know how they operate. He just came from the perfect fighting system to be able to beat the shit out of F.A. Ajagba. I've never been high on F.A. Ajagba. When people were going to say that F.A. Ajagba was going to be a world champion, I damn near choked on my meal. I damn near had a heart attack. I damn near got gout. I damn near freaking had carpal tunnel. I damn near lost all of my senses of smell. I almost had a freaking the worst headache you could ever think of just to even seriously. F.A. Ajagba, world champion. Imagine that. Now you tell me what the boxing landscapes in the world would have to look like for the even picture, or imagine an F.A. Ajagba being a world champion with the crop of talented fighters that we have out here right now. Please. F.A. Ajagba, if he was to meet up with a Dillian White, he getting stretched in 2 rounds. No more than 2. He said, hell no, call a doctor. But for real, he would get stretched out in 2. If he was to meet Andy Ruiz, too much hand speed, Andy Ruiz would just beat him with speed and barrages of punches before F.A. Ajagba could get out that very exhausted, languid, slow, sluggish, freaking jab that takes almost a whole 3 decades to formulate. It felt like I could go to the grocery store, go grab a bag of tree, pick up my favorite drinks, invite friends over for, for whatever, and F.A. Ajagba would still be trying to get his hand from by his damn waist, man. He's that slow, man. This dude is by far, Joe Joyce is slow, very methodical, great fighter, but slow. But that dude right there, that's mental frustration. That type of slow, that's the type of slow that's going to have you upset right there. If you're his trainer and you standing behind him, you tell me you're not going to be upset. He said, Kownacki from now on should be named Big Fetus. For real, bro. You know what Adam Kownacki really looked like? Y'all remember the old Ghostbusters movie when the big marshmallow was walking down the street? Tell me Adam Kownacki face and his body type do not look like the whole Stay Fluff Marshmallow Man. Tell me he don't, though. Adam Kownacki looks like the Stay Fluff Marshmallow Man. He is the Stay Fluff Marshmallow Man of heavyweight boxing. or he's the flubber of heavyweight boxing. Whatever you choose, Adam Kownacki embodies all of those things in the heavyweight division. And it's highly unfortunate, you know what I'm saying, that the PBC tried to sell him like that to the public, man. But at the end of the day, when y'all about to have me lose my lunch, man, I'm laughing so hard. Yeah, man, the Stay Fluff Marshmallow, man, a heavyweight boxing. That dude is a frustrating dude. Look, if I was a promoter, I'd be the most honest dude in the world. You just couldn't walk into my office or whatever and bring nothing like that in there and just have me have me invest in it. I'm like, look, man, look, man, we're involved in boxing here. We ain't got no food trucks. Like, come on, B. We not selling cannolis, we not selling sandwiches, we not doing none of that. This is boxing, man. This is not a food truck. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, man, definitely like that for me, man. I gotta get on that as soon as I get off here. Matter of fact, with Sanchez hitting him after he's taken the knee should have been penalized. But see, here's the thing, Vic. I understand why he didn't penalize him because it came in the flow of the combination. That punch was already coming before Ajagba, hit the floor. It wasn't like it was an intentional low blow when he took a knee. It was just one of them punches where it was just a fluid three-punch combination. 2 to 3 punch combination. He got caught with it. The hook was an inevitable piece. Like it was coming regardless, and you could see that, you could see that and you watched it in replay. Because I watched that fight a couple of times, and I definitely replayed that punch quite a few times, but there's just certain things you can't come off of. Once that combination fly, bro, you can't pull it back. You're not gonna be able to pull it back. He said, I thought that was Baby Miller. Hey, but for real, when I go back and I look on Big Baby's career, though, man, I understand there's a lot of PEDs or whatever, but man, if there was a time that we could actually say that, hey, Big Baby wasn't on PEDs or whatever, man, Big Baby could fight, man. Big Baby wasn't a bad fighter, man. For a dude that big, what Big Baby was doing wasn't normal. Big Baby was complete. Big Baby was everything that is wrong with everything that was wrong with the with mathematics and with mathematics and the anatomy of the human body. Everything that he was doing goes against every equation and every bit of mathematics that you can formulate or put together. Tell me I'm lying. Like Big Baby was an anomaly for a dude that big, but we know that came off the back of about 5 pharmacies and it's so unfortunate, man, because I actually have an appreciation for what Big Baby brought to the heavyweight division now. I actually have an appreciation that I never knew that I had for it. But it's just unfortunate he was a drug sheet because who would have known how that fight would have went with Anthony Joshua in there? Yeah, that too. The Michelin tire guy, and the Stay Fluff Marshmallow Man are the perfect embodiment of Adam Kownacki. He looks like either one of them joints, man. Like for real, I'm almost certain when his son turns like 2 or 3 years old, 3 or 4 years old, when he sees Ghostbusters for the first time, because the Ghostbusters Afterlife movie about to come and they got a bunch of little Stay Fluff Marshmallow people that come to life. When his son gonna see that joint, he was like, Daddy in the movies. I didn't know Dad was in the movie. Like my dad's a movie star. Like, he gonna call all his friends from outside off the street to come in the house and watch his dad on the big screen. James Batten, Fah Fah, what's goody? Do say Fimo versus Cambosa the same day as Fulton versus Figueroa. Which fights you watching live if they clash? Man, come on. Mark, you already know. I'm watching B Fig versus Steph, man. There's no question. I'm watching Steph versus B Fig, dog. There ain't nothing like, look, bro. Nobody is gonna be watching that camp. Look, I got the zone for a reason. It is a reason why it's a streaming platform. I don't necessarily have to tune in exactly when the fight comes on, but if they're fighting on the same day as Fulton and Figueroa, I mean, Fulton and Figueroa, man, it was meant to happen, man. I'm not tuning in to freaking I'm not tuning in to Teofimo versus Kambosos because I'm sure we already know what's gonna happen there. And if it turns out to be a different kind of story than we could all picture in our heads, then that's cool. It just makes it better for boxing and just more criticism that we can throw towards the delusional Teofimo Jr. and Super Wino Man Teofimo Sr. Yo, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I didn't even want to call him Super Lukewarm Man in the title. His original name is Super Wino Man. Like that's Teofimo Sr.'s real name. I just didn't want to put Super Wino Man in the title and get in trouble for it or some stuff like that when it went up for human review, because you know how touchy they are on YouTube. But yeah, man. Definitely, there's no question I'm watching Fulton versus Figueroa. That's a hell of a good fight. I got Fulton winning that fight. I just feel like he's too slick. I just think that, you know what I'm saying, like Figueroa is just not going to be able to just thud forward his way in this situation. I just think that Stephen Fulton's going to time him. Beautiful step back, jabs, check hook. Just definitely the ability to keep his recognizing where the ropes are, staying lateral on him, and just completely befuddling this guy. But I feel like Figueroa is definitely gonna make his way to find some success. I don't know if it's gonna come on the earlier rounds or the later rounds. I just think it matters what portion of the fight, who has success, and how long the fight's gonna go is determining who's gonna be the winner. But I think that Fulton Fulton definitely has the more spicy, ingredients to get the job done. I feel like, Figueroa is bringing a little bit bland. He's coming a little bit bland with the seasoning when it comes to that fight. But Figueroa has all the heart in the world. Definitely a tough motherfucker. It's gonna be a great fight. It's definitely gonna be a great fight. And if anybody is questioning what fight they want to watch that night, I mean, we all know Teofimo ain't no star. And George Kambosos don't got a freaking snowball chance in hell. So why not watch a fight that actually has, you know what I'm saying, it's got firecracking competition. And we know Fulton versus Figueroa is definitely gonna bring that. So that's definitely no question, bro. No question. You already know what it is, Mark. You already know. Did you hear what FA said about AJ versus Usyk? He said AJ time is over. He has 2 losses. Then he loses to Sanchez the next day. That's the problem with, you know what I'm saying, crackheads, bro. You know, when they're high, they say the dumbest shit. You can't never believe a crackhead, bro. And you can't believe a dude. You can't believe a dude who's as chinny as F.A. Ajagba. I done seen that dude spark a couple times. He's a chinny limited fighter who has no confidence in himself, that only speaks up at the wrong times. Fury better be getting ready for White now. That's the fight. Hey man. Yo, what do y'all think about the recent news coming out from the WBA? Not letting Yordanius Ugas got denied the right to, step aside as mandatory right now to fight Errol Spence for the unified titles. I wonder what, because the guy he's supposed to be fighting, Lithuanian fighter, number two in his ranked number 2 in his country, number 16 in the world. He's only got like he's got like 11 fights, 9 knockouts, something like that. I ain't gonna butcher the cat name. And the only credible win that I know he has on his record is Thomas Delorme. So I find it's funny to me. Why would they want to have that fight over being able to unify the titles? Like, I think that would bring more. You definitely gonna get more. You definitely gonna get more money out of that fight than, out of the fight with the Lithuanian cat. But I feel like Ugas should be able to dispose of him easy, and then it's right back to business. So it is what it is. The WBA has a funny way of like playing games, man. They just do things that just don't make. I mean, they enforce their rules when they enforce their rules like kind of like they hot and cold when it comes to enforcement. They put titles. They'll put two titles on the line in two different divisions. Then they'll halt a unification of three belts at 147, which would basically make Errol's claim or Udinius Ugas claim. And honestly, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, and we can have that conversation now since I'm going into it. But I honestly don't believe that Errol Spence could beat Udinius Ugas. What do y'all think? I said it. I said it. I said it, and it's not hate. So what do y'all think? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. What do y'all think? Nick Harmer, salute. TM crazy as shit. He said, "Don't knock on crack till you try." Hey man, in words of the great late Rick James, cocaine is a hell of a drug. He said tainted beef, and he looks great. Oh my God, those hands are fast. Those hands are fast. Klimbo punch. Go, Klimbo, go! Go, Klimbo, go! Go, Klimbo, go! Oh man. Yeah, man. Like Spence ain't what people say he is, man. You're not gonna be able to go in there. Like, yo, your Dennis Ugas will easily outbox that dude for 12 straight rounds. Easily. Easily. I just see it. The writing's on the wall. I see it happening. I hear Crank is very boring. If you want to stay up with the, you know what I'm saying? If you want to stay up for an extensive long period of time, if you want to potentially feel like you're Superman, strip off all your clothes and then end up running head first into somebody's windshield on foot and just end up coming through the front of their car and ended up out the back windshield, yeah, and probably tearing off the door of their trunk, yeah, Crank is definitely the drug of choice. It most certainly is. Spencer super overrated. He's only decent because he's a weight bully. I favor Ugas. Yeah, man. And you want to know what the beauty is about that fight? You know Errol Spence will be the favorite. So, oh my God, it would be a prime time to make a bet in Vegas and to really, really, really cash out on some serious paper for the Lowski. So I can't wait for that fight because, oh my God, am I betting my ass off? I can't wait. I can't wait. That's a fight that I know that I'm going to win some really good money. He said, better give it to Adrian. Yo, Anthony Joshua probably listen to this live stream and be like, yo, man, the criticism is at an all-time high. Like, but it's really not though. It's really not though. I don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't bash AJ, but we criticize AJ for where he needs to be criticized, where he comes up short. And a lot of people can't deal with that, man. You're gonna come to this channel, and when a dude's right, I'm gonna let you know when he's right, as far as his boxing skill. And when he's wrong, we definitely gonna speak on when he's wrong. And if you're one of those dudes who hope to go to a channel and be like, oh, all they're gonna do is praise him, put him up on a pedestal and all of that good stuff, like this isn't where you want to come, because I'm always going to tell the truth, because we can't say we solid and we keep it a buck when it comes to our interpretation of these fighters if we're going to hold the hands of one and criticize the other, and make videos that drag them through the mud and truth. Nah, we're not going to do that. Everybody can get it. Spence is about to make a miraculous recovery from his detached retina. This was lying the whole time about that out because he thought he was gonna get that ass beat by Pacquiao. I told y'all that. I told y'all that from the jump. He pulled out of that fight. There was no injury. He pulled out of that fight because he didn't want to lose to a 42-year-old man. And can't nobody tell me any different. Nobody can tell me any different. Martin Ramos, salute, bro. He said. He said Lennox talks like a Rudy Poo. He do though. He talks like a He talks like a real. He talks like a real lady. He talks like a real lady. New Jack said Pookie put me off the crack. Oh well, even Wesley couldn't straighten that kid out. Man, gave him a job and everything, man. Gave him a job. He started ratting to the police. Man, look, man, just the scene. And look, people understand them scenes were about as realistic as it get when it come to the crack epidemic, man. Like Pookie was going through it. He holding the pipe, crying and shit with the lighter. He putting it up to his mouth and shit, trying not to hit it. He's pulling it back down. He's picking it back up. He's putting it back down. Yo, I guarantee they tried to stretch the scene out like it was 2 days or something, right? Like it was like 2 or 3 different nights of where he's like picking this crack pipe up when you know this was like a 5-minute battle of him wanting to smoke crack and he just lost that battle in all the 5 minutes. They try to stretch it and make it look like, yo, Pookie been doing good. Like he got the crack on him. He's got the crack pipe. You know, he's made it this far for about 2 days. Nah, dude. That was like he was sitting in that joint, that room for 5 minutes, and they switched scenes 3 times. Like in 5 minutes, Pookie was like, you know what? I'm gonna smoke this crack, and I'm about to stare through these freaking goldfish. I can see they. That motherfucker was so cracked out. He got X-ray vision. He looking through the goldfish. AJ needs to find an aggressive style and also be defensive at the same time. Manny Robles, Silas, John David Jackson, go holler at Riddick Bowe. Get with some guys that's gonna beat you up in training. Train with some top talent. Get with some guys that's really gonna beat you up. Because I think that's what AJ needs. I think he needs a few good, like Jared Big Baby Anderson, like American ass whoopings. Because I don't know if Anthony Joshua got the tools to, you know what I'm saying, spar to win in a spar war with Big Baby Anderson right now. So I would like to see him getting there with some Big Baby Anderson, some Hergoviches, Joe Joyce, dudes like that, man, and really, really, really turn on in the sparring, man. Like I said earlier, I think Anthony Joshua really needs to take some good ass whoopings from now until, you know, from now for the next 2 months. I think Anthony Joshua needs to take some really, really credible ass whoopings, man, and learn how to adapt and how to adapt from those ass whoopings. And instead of, you know, being flustered and frustrated in those sparring wars, understand how to adapt and go to a plan B, a plan C. And see, that's the biggest thing about fighters who are limited. You know, you don't have the ability to go to, okay, well, I'm getting outclassed here, so I can go to this thing. Or I'm being outclassed here, so I need to go to this thing. Okay, well, you know what I'm saying? The pressure's getting to me, so how am I going to, you know what I'm saying, get it off of me? So on and so forth. I feel like those things are only learned through repetition and sparring with the toughest competition that you can possibly find. And I think that history shows us time and time again, like look at Ken Norton. Ken Norton was an amazing fighter, highly underrated when it comes to, you know, his boxing career. But we all know when it comes to the ATGs, you're going to list Ken Norton in the top 15 all day. Of all great heavyweights, Ken Norton definitely goes in the top 15. Arguably, you know, I wouldn't even debate if anybody had him in their top 10. Because, you know, that's your opinion. Honestly, I would agree with anywhere that you put him. But at the same time, who was Ken Norton's sparring partner? Smoking Joe Frazier. This dude was getting beat up on Smoking Joe Frazier to become great. Those are the things you're going to have to do if you want to become a fighter that's, you know what I'm saying, seasoned, you know, that really shows nuance in your game. I feel like those things come from sparring. And once again, when you getting hit up by dudes like Joey DeWaco and a one-punch Daniel Dubois, like, yo, yeah, I think it's time for you to definitely turn it up in sparring. How hard are you really sparring in the gym? Because I see a lot of individual repetition, a lot of hit and miss with Rob McCracken, and we know Rob McCracken is the most stiffest training bastard, you know what I'm saying, that you can find on the Eastern Hemisphere. So, yeah, man, Anthony Joshua needs to get with guys that are going to beat him up, bully him, make him aggressive, make him show grit. He needs to get back in his mind, fuck it, I'm a dog, I'm going to be a dog. Because when it gets to a point where you're a 6'6" guy with that type of figure and everybody looks at you like you soft, then you've lost your greatest weapon. I don't know what y'all think, but that's just how I feel. You gotta, because like Anthony Joshua's at the point where it's like really like Usyk probably sitting back like, what is he gonna do? What is he going to do? Like, I took it all from him. What can he do? If I'm Alexander Usyk and I'm in the position that I'm in after I fought that guy, I'm realistically like, what can he do? Right or wrong? Wouldn't y'all? I'd be like, straight up, what can he do to me? What can he do to me that I ain't already done to him, took away from him, made him limited, made him fearful of it, almost knocked him on his feet at will in the 12th round with 20 seconds left? What can he do? You've taken it all away from him. So I'd be training my ass off, not kicking my feet up, working on more ways to befuddle him, more ways to make him work, thinking of all of the other things that all of the other avenues he would think to try to get me out the way. What can he do? So Anthony Joshua, like I said, you kind of lost the whole size element. You didn't bring that to the table. You chose the box. I think the boxing came from not knowing what to do. Now, we don't know who the trainer is. We don't know what's going to be implemented when he goes back in the ring, because in my mind, he got to go for it. It's the only thing he can do. He has to go for it. And he got to go for it on the front foot. He's got to go for it with dominance. He's got to go for it, you know what I'm saying? He got to play the game a little dirty. He got to push him on the back foot. He got to exhaust his wind tank. Yo, you got to get up close and personal with this dude. Like, grab a hold of this dude. Get a hold of him. Make him feel every bit of that 6'6", 235 plus specimen of a man. Pause. You're going to have to make him work. Exhaust every bit of his effort while beating on him being a real big dog. That's the only way he's going to win this fight. He ain't winning this fight. He ain't winning this fight thinking. He's not winning this. Like, yo, the more Anthony Joshua thinks, or the second he hesitates to think, that's going to be more times he get punched in the face. He got to be big, man. Being a boxer isn't enough. Or learning how to box better isn't enough. You got to learn how to be a better heavyweight. When he was the heavyweight knocking Klitschko off, when he knocked Andy Ruiz down the first time, that's when Anthony Joshua like, yo, he used to hit dudes so hard, knock them on their butt so fast, they didn't know the power that he possessed. They underestimated it. And they're like, oh, I'm in here. This is what it's like to be in here. Nah, I ain't really trying to be in here no more. He got to go back to making them feel that. And if he doesn't make them feel that, then it's a lost cause. The 4 months, waste of time. The switching trainers, a waste of time. If you're not going to do it. And if you're not going to be with somebody who's clicked on playing the game soft, who isn't looking at your status, who isn't looking at, the financial the financial barriers that you've broken in the heavyweight division, who's not looking at that 10% from whatever your fight purses are going to be when it comes to fight night, and they just happy to be in the system. Oh, no. It can't be any of those things. It has to be, yo, I have the ability to listen, shut the F up, learn it, and everything in my tank, I got to burn it early. For real, bro. Because let's be honest, there is no such like, yo, I want to know from y'all, because I already know how I feel. Do you think Anthony Joshua wins this fight if it goes beyond 7 rounds? I don't care the outcome. I'm not saying the fight stops in 7 rounds or anything like that. I'm just saying, do any of you believe that Anthony Joshua wins this fight in 7 rounds? I mean, after 7 rounds or 6 rounds? And if he does, how is he going to do it? I don't see it. I feel like he got to knock him out within 1 to 7. If not, man, just pack it up, man. Because he going to knock you out. Ronnie Shields already flapped his gums. I doubt it'll beat him. That's the thing. A lot of these American coaches, man, and that PBC alliance, they've said a lot of dumb things that are gonna put them in the realm. Like, yo, look at the Charlos and Ronnie Shields and all that when they was around, and they were starstruck. They were in the presence of. They felt like they was in the presence of greatness. They rubbed off and they got close to some real money that day. Wasn't no faking the money. And ain't it funny that Anthony Joshua was the one with no jewelry on and stuff like that, and he the richest one in the room? But yeah, a lot of those guys criticize him, they talk bad about him, they talk down on him. So is it going to be any of them? Nah, but I'm telling you, you can get a quiet dude like a John David Jackson. You could take a very outspoken dude like a Teddy Atlas, man. At the end of the day, for me, it's John David Jackson. Really, if it came down to me and I was with him, I'm like, yo, we going to go see Teddy Atlas first. And by the time we got to Teddy Atlas' house, we're not going nowhere else. I'm telling you, by the time we got to Teddy Atlas' house, we wouldn't need to go nowhere else because the decision would already be made. Shout out to Javi with the $10 super chat. He was like, so what do you think of Buddy McGirt as AJ's trainer? Buddy McGirt, you know what I'm saying, has the ability to wake up a hell of a, you know what I'm saying, to wake up his jab. Buddy McGirt has the ability to wake up his footwork. Buddy McGirt has the ability to wake up his high guard to make it a little bit more tricky than what it is. Buddy McGirt has the ability to wake up certain levels of angles that Anthony Joshua doesn't implement already. Buddy McGirt has the ability to, you know what I'm saying, to keep him turned on to where, you know what I'm saying, he tries to complicate his footwork, complicates the looks that he gives a fighter, complicates, you know what I'm saying, the type punches that, you know what I'm saying, he gives the opposing fighter. So I feel like Buddy McGirt would be a great addition. But for me, it was always John David Jackson, Buddy McGirt, Manny Robles, Silas, who else? Teddy Atlas, man, or Joel Diaz. It ain't no damn Eddie Reynoso because for me, I feel like going to see Virgil Hunter, dude, that's a waste of time. I feel like, and all Virgil Hunter did was talk about him and Andre Ward wanting to fight the shit out you ever since day one. Now they act like they're best friend. Then going to see freaking Eddie Reynoso, complete waste of time. Now, I just think that maybe this dude's not selling himself short, regardless of whatever's being said, and he's just making his rounds. That may be the case, and that's cool. But where I see it right now, that shit is a waste of time, man. I know you got the money to run around, but shit, you wasting your damn time. The man coming up in weight had the abstract already. Facts. And now, the fact that you done came up in weight, you adapted, you take it as tough as punch, like, yo, what can you do? What is he going to do to you? What is he going to do to you? What is he going to make you think? What is he going to make you think about is going to really make you adverse to, you know what I'm saying, going up in there and whooping all on his ass? Y'all know, I don't care. Everybody know I'm a fan of Anthony Joshua, but I'm a bigger fan of telling the truth. What the hell is he going to do? I whooped all up on your ass. Whooped it. I owned you. Like, I am the pappy type shit. Why? All I got to do is get better. All I got to do is be smarter. All I got to do is stay turned on. All I got to do is just be aware of not letting the moment go to my head. I'm going to beat your ass. From where we stand, I'm on a Mount Everest type peak right now. I'm at the peak of Mount Everest with all of the frozen dead bodies and their fucking flags from all over the countries and shit. If I'm Alexander Usyk, that is the level of difficulty, and Anthony Joshua has to hike that. You feel what I'm saying? He's got to hike that level of difficulty. What you gonna do? That's it. You gonna have to look, man. Like I said, if Anthony Joshua don't jump on him from round one, man, he not gonna win that fight, man. He's not gonna win that fight. Ain't no, let me be methodical. Let me sit back and, you know, do my little feint shit and all that. Nah, bro. No, no. No, I don't want to see no fainting or none of that, bro. I want to see you go in there, rough him up. I want to see a forearm in his throat from time to time when you get in the clinch. I want to see you really, really go in here and rough this dude up. Like you going to have to rough this dude up, man. I'm just saying, it's a fight, man, at the end of the day. And when you win a fight, man, you only get one shot at it, man. And that's the thing. When you know you only got one shot at it and you have 3-minute increments, 12 3-minute increments to get it right, there's no excuse. Bar none. I don't care. Like the excuses they made for Anthony Joshua. How many of us can honestly right now say we can go outside right now and get in a 3-minute straight fight? A fight for three minutes straight. Unless you're in shape. And you better be in great shape. So what I'm saying is you've had 12 increments, 3-minute rounds to do what's necessary to get it done. And you went back to the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And you felt like, you know, if I try to, if I keep trying, I'm going to get it. No. You are with the wrong guy. It was evident you were with the wrong guy and Andy Ruiz won. So play around with it if you want to, and he's going to beat your ass. And I like Anthony Joshua. Don't get it twisted. Everybody knows that. I like the guy. I think he's great for boxing. I think he has the where he's at financially. And look, I'm going to tell y'all straight up, and y'all might not believe it the way I'm talking. I need Anthony Joshua to win this fight. I need Anthony Joshua to win this fight. I want him to win this fight. And I'm going to tell y'all why. Because how many fighters do we have that can move the necessary needle Anthony Joshua moves right now, who's worth what Anthony Joshua's worth right now, and who stands out and fills seats like Anthony Joshua and brings a certain level of special energy to the stands wherever he goes, whether it's MSG, O2, Tottenham Hotspurs, wherever he goes, Diriyah, Saudi Arabia. Wherever he goes, people chanting his name, he's filling up stadiums everywhere in the world. That's a real heavyweight star, and he moves like a real heavyweight champ. He has never turned down a fight. He's always showed up for a fight. He has never not made one excuse. That's a champion. And I need that trend to continuously follow in the sport. And that's why I want Anthony Joshua to win. Not taking anything away from Usyk or whatever, but Usyk can't barely say 2 words in English. Usyk's never going to be able to translate to the American market the way that Anthony Joshua would. Nobody, y'all might believe differently, but I just know how the American market works. They're not going to take to him like that. He's just going to be a dominant fighter that everybody criticizes because they ain't got the ball sack to get in the ring with him. And these are facts. So Anthony Joshua brings a certain type of thing to boxing that boxing really needs, and that is a level of competition, the willingness to fight no matter how much money is on the line, considering that you got guys who don't even make a third of what Anthony Joshua makes, but they got their noses stuck up in the air like they got a freaking Gucci or Dooney and Burke bag on their arm, and they just, you know what I'm saying, they just I refuse to go over there. I refuse to fight on that side of the street. Are you kidding me? Like them type of bitch ass niggas, man. Like for real. So I just need dogs. I just need dogs to do dog shit, and I need dogs to remain in dog places. And that's not saying Alexander Usyk ain't no dog. He a big dog. He definitely a real big dog. But what I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying? I need a dog with appeal to stay in that position, because we have to have one star that for real, no matter what, he shines over him in a sense to where it's like, okay, we got a guy that's bringing that excitement. He's bringing that movement. He's bringing that casual energy. Everybody wants to turn up for it. We need that, because there has to be a level of consistency in the sport as far as momentum. So if people think that, oh, 2 hands bashing AJ, no, I'm not. I'm speaking in the levels of where I want you to be better, do better, and I know what this sport truly needs, man. it needs his energy. He's a special figure, man. And no matter and a lot, I've never been a hater in my life. I ain't never hated on no dude. I ain't never got salty about no broad. So what I'm saying is I'm more than willing to tell, you know what I'm saying, or admit what the sport really needs so we can translate a certain level of energy so we could like, yo, Anthony Joshua the type of fighter with kids is gonna follow and they gonna start hitting the bags, they gonna start hitting the speed bag or whatever, and they could look at him and they can want to duplicate that type of success and greatness, man. So all I'm saying is, and once again, he moved right. So I commend him. I commend him for how he moves. I commend him for the things that he's done in the sport and at such an expedient rate. I commend him for never wavering from any mandatory responsibility. I commend him for never dropping the belt. I commend him for saying, I don't care who got the belt. I'm willing to fight whoever has it. It doesn't matter. He got to go out there and straight be a heavyweight and beat on his ass. And if he don't do that, pack it in, bro. Just pack it in. Because he ain't going, he's right now, it's just get ready for Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. If Anthony Joshua's not going to go out there and be the bigger guy. I'm saying, once again, Teddy Atlas, right mind state, definitely going to tell him the truth, going to criticize him in the right ways, whether it feels wrong to him, it's still right. And he's going to implement the right type of training regimens that could possibly duplicate the success that we saw in Ruiz too, but in a different manner, which is I'm going to be the big motherfucker in the fight. I ain't giving up my size. Like, yo, you giving up your size to a little dude. And even when that little dude punches you, especially in the early rounds, that level of, he can't hurt you like that. It's going to take a lot for him to hurt you. So why not go in there and make your presence felt and impose a certain level of size and a certain level of strength and will, because you work out like that. You're that workout warrior and all of those things. Why don't you implement those type of things? So guess what? You put that man back up against the wall, man, have him huffing there, man, and beat on his ass, man. You got to do it. Got to do it. Well, fight fans, that's all I got for you guys at the end of the day, man. I appreciate you guys for coming through. Once again, I apologize for yesterday evening. Got a lot of rough shit going on in my family right now. But as we always say at the end of the shit, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. I just want to see Anthony Joshua be what Anthony Joshua's always been. A big, dominant heavyweight with a freaking nasty right hook, a nasty overhand right, and an even more devastating uppercut. And be that bigger guy, man. And then you might translate to a much better success, man. So respect to all of you guys for coming through once again, man. Peace and many blessings. And as always, tell y'all, man, y'all stars, man. So continue to go out and shine like one. Respect.